Hello and welcome to this episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, and today, with only 3 days, 4 days away until the big day, I am discussing the highly topical how to survive Christmas as a small business, entrepreneur, landscaper, garden designer, how we manage it, how we manage to survive this stressful Christmas time. So let's go to the show. As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show. Hello, and welcome to you, my lovely listeners. How are you? Currently, I am recording this while away on holiday, getting some summer sun, which is well needed. And remembered I had to record this podcast for you guys. And I felt it was quite an important podcast because it's so timely. We've got Christmas just on Sunday, which is super exciting, particularly if you are parents of small children who are hugely excited about this time of year. But it can also be a really stressful time of year because we're all looking to close down for a really good Christmas break for Christmas, to enjoy the holidays, to spend time with family. But sometimes it just does not happen like that. It can feel extremely stressful, and there can be a lot of pressure that we put upon ourselves to make sure everything's, all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and we can essentially put the business to bed for a couple of weeks before we get back into it in January. And there can feel like there's so much to do. I feel your pain. This happens every year. But this year has been a bit different because we've booked holiday away, so things had to be done. However, I do have some tips on how it can be marginally better for you or easier going into this Christmas period. And I think the top thing on my list, no surprise to you if you've been around a while, is getting on top of your cash flow and doing a cash flow review. And what I mean by that is essentially checking that your cash flow can survive, so your business is able to survive via cash throughout your closed period. This is something that we have to manage, particularly in the landscaping industry, because we generally, if we're not working, we're not earning unless you've got some other side hustles going on or some innovative ideas, which is fantastic. So you have to make sure that your business can sustain this period of closure. And in order to do that and feel less stressed, I always find running the cash flow and running the figures for the next month or two means that you can really get ahead. And what I mean by running the figures, I mean by putting in actual figures. So your forecast should be there for the next 12 months. And then you should be inputting your real-time figures to see where you're at, see how you stand, see what difference things make on when you close, sort of what you're going to be left with in the bank, how you're going to pay people, that sort of thing. And cash flow really is king for this. I did this recently before coming away, and thankfully, all is well. But I was getting highly stressed about it until I ran the figures to see what needed to come in and what needed to go out essentially this month, what could be delayed potentially, what could be brought forward to make it easier going into January, what jobs we have booked in, that sort of thing. It's not rocket science. It's just sitting down and inputting figures into a spreadsheet essentially. And if you're a TLC member, you can go to the business topic and download the cash flow template in there. It's actually the one I use in my business. And then there's a video number 2, which runs alongside that, which will tell you exactly how to fill it in and make use of the cash flow and how it works in your business. So that's number 1. Number 2, which links directly to cash flow, is really getting on top of all your invoicing. There's some guys that I've spoken to who aren't on top of their invoicing, and then particularly at this time of year, it can be a double struggle because, other businesses have minor shutdowns or people are not thinking about it. So my top tip is to get on top of your invoices and invoice early if you can. So particularly, say if you're starting a customer's project in January and you still haven't got their deposit in, now I would say would be the time to do that. Just trying to manage your cash flow correctly links directly to how good you are at invoicing, really, and chasing invoices. If you've got outstanding invoices, now's the time to, demand payment. To make sure that you're putting your business in the best place it can be to withstand, you know, the 2 weeks closure at Christmas, and then obviously the start in January when weather can be particularly bad. My third tip for you is to plan and schedule all your social media content and blogs and stuff. I'm practicing what I preach right now. I have mapped out, written and scheduled all my content for the next 2 weeks. So you won't, everything that's going out at the moment is all pre-written, pre-scheduled, so that I can go on holiday and not worry about it. Apart from this, because I left this to the last minute. I often do with podcasts. I just find I get better the closer the deadline is, I suppose. But yeah, if you're worried about losing presence and social, or potentially maybe you're thinking, it doesn't matter, no one's looking at it, I would urge you that a lot of people are going to be at home with their families, sitting down, having time to discuss projects, having time to discuss the future. That may mean, you know, they're moving house or renovating their house, or, you know, doing up their garden, or they've got your quote and they just haven't had a chance to look at it. It can be all of those things. And this is the time when people get a little bit of opportunity to sit down and discuss important projects. So I would urge you to create some content, schedule it so you can just sit back and not worry about it, and then just make sure you've got that brand awareness and presence across your social media platforms over the holidays. Make sure people know when you're closing, when you're opening, how you're going to deal with them, but essentially keep up your social presence. It doesn't always lead to direct inquiries, but as we all know, marketing often, what they tell you they found you from isn't often the only place they've seen you. So people can see you in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different places before they pick up the phone. And the final thing they saw will be what they remember. So every bit of marketing, every bit of brand awareness stuff you're doing all helps keep you in their mind's eye when they are looking for landscapers, garden designers, or horticultural businesses. Fourth thing is put on your autoresponders, and link into this is communication. Keep up the communication. Essentially, I know this seems really simple, but you need to set people's expectations and manage them. So whether they're clients or whether they're inquiries, you need to communicate what's happening when you're closing, when you're going to be back on site with them if it's a client that's open, when you're going to be finished on site with them, and what happens then, you know, what can they expect if it's a client. If it's an inquiry, you've really got to manage their expectations by either setting a call answering service option up where they tell them you're going to get back to them within X amount of hours. So currently I say 72, I think. And it could be that you have an autoresponder on your emails that says the same thing. Thanks for your email. We're currently on holiday, but, you know, Christmas holiday, Christmas break, whatever you want to call it. But we'll aim to be in touch with you within 72 hours. We'll be booking appointments from January onwards. So you just need to manage communication, make sure this is all set up so that when people are calling you, they're not expecting you to contact them back immediately. And you shouldn't either. But setting a reasonable expectation for them means they're not going to be disappointed, and they're not going to be thinking, oh, they haven't got back to me, or contacting other people and, you know, then thinking, well, they never contacted me back, even though you were always going to be delayed in coming back to them at this time. So big on communication at this time of year. And then I'm looking at big goal planning, and this is a perfect time of year to sit down and really map out 2023, map out your plans, map out your dreams, map out your goals, not just for yourself, but for your business, for your family. Maybe you want to go on certain holidays. Maybe you want to get that next bit of kit for the business. Maybe you want a digger. Maybe you want a new car. I don't know, whatever it might be. Maybe you just want more time. Maybe you want to work less. Maybe you want to go into new markets. I don't know. But this is a perfect time to sit back and reflect on the year. I discussed that in a previous episode, but reflect back and then look forward and start mapping out your goals. And if you're part of the TLC tribe, then you can go into the membership side, and there is a topic all on planning and mindset, perfect to refresh yourself at this time of year. In fact, I had a member who did this every single year in December, in the December break, because it just meant that she could sit down, get her mindset in gear, and also start the planning process. If you need any help with this, obviously I am here over in TLC to help you in any way I can. But essentially, no dream is too big. I urge you to dream big. And I also aim to get you to think about what could be done in a year, what small actions could you take each day to make sure you're en route to those goals and those dreams, and then how are you going to review it and tweak it along the way. So are you going to review the business every month, every quarter? Are you going to change marketing tactics every month, every quarter? These are the things that you need to think about. What is your marketing plan for next year? That might be a good place to start as well. How are you going to get leads into your business next year in order to make the sales, to create the dreams that you want to happen? Like I say, the perfect time of year, because you're coming up towards New Year's resolutions, and you're coming up to the end of the year where people are reflecting back and are thinking about what could next year bring. Some people probably saying, thank God 2022 is over. Wherever you're at, you need to sit down and really reflect on what you want to happen for the following year, and how, most importantly, are you going to take action and make that happen for you? We're all in control of our own dreams and our own lives. You can make whatever you want in your life happen. You just got to commit to showing up and taking desired action to achieve those goals. It's not just going to come to you if you sit back and relax. It's all about taking inspired and focused action on the dreams and goals that you make. So yes, think about that. And finally, allow it. Allow yourself to have this time off. Get some R&R, get some rest and relaxation if you can. Don't beat yourself up that you're closing, and please don't think you have to be on call to your clients, to new clients, to people, to your staff, however you are always around. So, sometimes it can feel like you're constantly on your phone, people are calling you all the time or checking in with you. You don't have to do that. You can actually turn it off and have a few days off if you want. Just allow yourself the space. Just allow yourself to have a break and get recharged, ready for a bumper 2023. I'm quite excited about 2023. There's a few new things happening. TLC is going to be slightly different, but I'll have more to share with you once I've actually sorted that one out. We've got the From the Ground Up course, new cohort 2, starting on the 30th of January, which I'm very, very excited about. So that'll be our second lot of students going in to start their businesses essentially and grow their businesses from scratch. The current cohort are loving it and I enjoy working with them. So I'm super excited about having cohort 2 coming into the fold, into the From the Ground Up course, and developing their businesses with us. So we've got that. And like I say, if you need any help, TLC is always here to help you anyway. So you can always DM me. As I said, I am away at the moment, so I won't be getting back to anyone until after Christmas. But essentially, you can get in touch and I will try and help wherever possible. And next week, I will be talking about New Year and things to think about, I suppose, going into the new year. And yeah, it's an exciting time. New Year's always an exciting time, as is Christmas. The magic of Christmas is always around. Yeah, and I'd love it if you listen to this episode. If you loved it, do give it a like, share, subscribe, whatever it is at the moment that you have to do. Review it on Apple Podcasts if you can. Share it with people that might get a nugget of information out of this to use in their business to make their lives easier this Christmas. And most importantly of all, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll be back next week in the podcast all about New Year. Christmas will all be over. It'll all be about New Year, new beginnings, potentially new business. Who knows? See you later, guys.